Welcome back to the Nerds Only channel. My name is Brady, and today I break down my thoughts with spoilers on Superman, which has released in the past few days. I did get to see this movie with one of the pre-screenings that were held on July 8th. I've since seen the movie 3 times already in under a week, and if you can tell by that, I love this movie. The heavily daunting task to be appointed to James Gunn to restart the DCU by writing and directing the first movie entry to shape this new universe of heroes, and for it to be Superman, the Man of Steel, definitely put people on the nerves, especially myself. But with him never proving to fail in past projects like the Suicide Squad and the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, I held hope for him to create something different, and by all means, he delivers. This is probably his most comic booky movie he's made, and he said so himself of it being a challenging movie. DC fans have wanted something a little more connective-wise from this realm of superheroes, similarly to the first few phases of Marvel Studios and their world building. And I think we're getting there finally. As it is Superman's movie, it does do the world building to make you think about those possibilities and throwing things to see what people notice. More on that later. David Corenswet is this new generation Superman. He is hopeful, charismatic, Boy Scoutish, and brings the energy that gave me similar vibes as Christopher Reeves, but made it his own with this interpretation, reminding me of the Silver Age era of Superman comics. His ideals of humanity and what it means towards him really captured me differently in this movie. You see him getting constantly pummeled by not only battles, but the public, Lex Luthor, and also his beliefs are challenged. His different acting as Clark Kent, seeming clumsy, wearing clothes that are too big for him, not drawing attention to him on purpose, was enjoyable. I just wish we personally got a bit more of Clark Kent, because there's really only a couple scenes between him and Lois Lane or the other people from the Daily Planet. But the way that this version of Superman or Clark Kent cares about humanity and the humans around him or the people, with any battle, he's making sure people are okay. He's even saving dogs. He's even saving squirrels. And then, as you can tell, like during the scene where he's fighting the kaiju monster and he punches it and it's going towards the building, and he even goes behind it to stop it and to check on the people in the building to make sure they're okay. With his charm and his smile, it was just, that screams Superman to me. Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane is phenomenal. She's perfect as the fierce reporter who does whatever to get to the story. Her and David Corenswet's Clark Kent's chemistry is off the charts. I think this relationship on screen for superhero characters and the relationships is the best it has been in a while from other superhero films. This iteration of Lois really challenges Clark, I think, and they are opposites, but that's what pulls them together, and she keeps him level-headed. Being specific, the 12-minute scene of her interviewing Superman or Clark, which did not feel that long by the way, was done very well, asking the hard-hitting questions to Clark about why he stopped the war between Baravia and Jarhanpur, to where you can understand Lois's perspective and be either on her side or Clark's. Crypto is a standout for the kids, and I felt like worked for the film, being that not so good dog, but works for comedic relief, and I'm excited to see more of him in the Supergirl movie. The Justice Gang is really cool, but the standout is really Edi Gathegi's truly terrific performance as Mr. Terrific. He literally steals every scene he's in, and to flex how smart this character truly is, and being able to shut down a dimensional tearing rift and getting that amazing fight scene very similar to Yondu's in Guardians of the Galaxy, but with T-spheres. Do not be surprised if he was put to the forefront of the movie over the other members of the Justice Gang, because James might want Eddie's Mr. Terrific to run his own outing with The Terrific Show or movie, which is a team of characters as Mr. Terrific as the leader, Plastic Man, Phantom Girl, and Metamorpho, who's in this movie as well, and other characters. Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl are already making appearances next in Peacemaker Season 2, with being shown in the trailer, but Mr. Terrific is missing. Is it because he's simply not there, or has he left the gang temporarily and left under Maxwell Lord's funding of the team to run his own operations after his interactions with Superman? Nicholas Hoult's performance as Lex Luthor is one of my favorites now, or one of the top live-action performances ever, up there with Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor from Smallville. He's so evil and hell-bent to show the world that Superman is a threat, and throws everything at him to show that his brains beats Superman's bronze. His performance felt sincere with his emotions, and riffing off David's Superman works really well. I definitely think we could see him in future projects like a sequel, or as a member of a Legion of Doom against a formed Justice League when we get there. To feel like a threat to Superman by turning his morals and the world on him while trying for his own personal gain with the war amid the movie was definitely different, and his persona was definitely meta noticed by a lot lot of fans of billionaires or government leaders in our real world today. And speaking of Lex turning Superman's morals on him, the biggest plot point, which is a huge spoiler, but you guys have been watching through the video already for spoilers, biggest plot point is the second half of Clark or Superman's video message from his Kryptonian parents, basically telling him to conquer Earth or to mate around with many wives or women to continue the Kryptonian lineage or to have kids, which is a big thing that turns Superman on himself, questioning everything and what he was sent to Earth for, based off the first half of the message, which he thought his parents were just loving and told him to serve Earth. And for the world to turn on him, it was definitely interesting from other Superman movies, and I personally liked it. Now, it'll be interesting to see because I thought during the whole movie that it was just going to be revealed later that, oh, it was fake, Lex altered it, but they kept insisting from Mr. Terrific, Lex Luthor, in the world that, no, this is a legit message. And when I got to the end credits, I was like, oh, went with that. So do I personally like it? Yes, I think it's a different take, and it's interesting to see that the Kryptonians in some way can be evil, maybe. I'm wondering if they will delve more into it in Supergirl's movie, or if they're just going to let it go and move forward from that. But I think some part of it has to stem into Supergirl's movie, and I'm interested to see her thoughts on it or how they will portray it through that. And I think it worked for this movie where, you know, Clark's true parents are what he grew up from with the Kents, and what they have taught him made him his own character. Do I think this movie is perfect by any means? No, it's impossible to be perfect. I think there was a little pacing issues in the beginning to 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. It was said there was possible title cards for days removed from the film to show its progression of less than a week. Like, it just cuts to the next days. But at moments, I feel like I was watching episodes of Superman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited in a good way, or tones similar to Smallville. I liked the moments where we did slow down for emotional beats to build Superman back up as hopeful. Of course, the scenes with Pa Kent and him saying to Clark, "Parents aren't for telling their children who they're supposed to be. We are here to give you all tools to help you make fools of yourself all on your own. Your choices, Clark, your actions, that's what makes you who you are. And let me tell you something, son, I couldn't be more proud of you." Just that was a powerful quote in itself, and definitely the most heavy-hitting moment throughout the film. And to bring up Clark's morale again, that it's not his parents who define him, it's what they give to him as tools, but what he does for himself and what he does for the people around him is going to show the type of person he is, and what he does defines him. And for Superman to not use his fist against Lex at the end, but give him this amazing quote on his human ideals. "I'm as human as anyone. I love, I get scared, I wake up every morning, and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other, and I try to make the best choices I can. I screw up all the time, but that is being human, and that's my greatest strength." I was staring at the screen, beating my fist and saying, that's Superman and what the world needed from this movie right now. Because you truly do leave the film for some reason feeling more hopeful than you first entered. This movie was definitely meta on what's going on in the world right now with leaders, billionaires, haters online, and more. Past iterations of the Man of Steel are great in their own ways and have things that stand above their predecessors or versions, and that's okay. That's what brings each version their own flavor. Not everyone is going to agree with this version of Superman, especially a dramatic turn from Henry Cavill's interpretation and Zack Snyder's world and tonal feel. But to see a Superman who is more human in the way he portrays himself, especially to see him off the bat in the beginning, to see that he's more than an invincible force and can lose in ways, feels like we can connect more to this version of the character. But we don't need to slander this film. Everyone, of course, is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone has their likes and dislikes, and funnily enough, from this movie, that's being human. But this is the best I've felt for something DC-wise in a while. And this Superman film did make me feel hopeful of what the future is for this universe. From everything I've said, from personal reaction-wise, what I felt during the film, and the direction this seems like this is going, I give Superman 2025 a 9 out of 10, and hope everyone gives it a fair chance as the first walking steps for James Gunn's DCU. I'll be making a video later in the week talking about what I think could come from this film future-wise, cameos in this, that Supergirl cameo in the end, and what it means for her film next year. This is just my initial thoughts with spoilers, and trust me, we're still gonna have plenty to talk about over the coming weeks. If you guys enjoyed my reaction or my initial thoughts to this full movie, what I talked about with the spoilers, make sure to leave a like, and also comment below what you thought about the film. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And what parts were the best for you? What would you have wanted to see differently from this movie? Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the Nerds Only channel. There's gonna be tons more of nerdy content coming up, especially with Fantastic Four coming out in the next few weeks. But I will see you guys later.